Marking 1 year since the start of the UK's first COVID-19 lockdown, at workplaces and on the streets, people stop to remember. Calls for a public inquiry have been getting louder, but Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who found himself in intensive care with COVID last spring, says that's not the priority.
Doubtless there will be a moment to properly to review, to learn lessons, and to make sure that we learn those lessons for future pandemics of a kind that I'm sure that there will be.
In February last year, this South London hospital received the capital's first COVID-19 patient. Within weeks, the place was overwhelmed. A year on, the number of people who've died within 4 weeks of a positive test stands at over 125,000 people. The true COVID death toll is higher still. But amid the grief and the anger, there is hope. More than half the UK's adult population has had a first dose of a COVID vaccine.
OK, are we ready?
The UK's programme has involved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine and the AstraZeneca jab. Now US officials have voiced concerns about trial data for the latter, a day after interim results in the US suggested it was 79% effective against symptomatic COVID.
The Data and Safety Monitoring Board, when they saw that press release, they got concerned and wrote a rather harsh note to them and with a copy to me saying that, in fact, they felt that the data that was in the press release were somewhat outdated and might, in fact, be misleading.
AstraZeneca says it'll share the most up-to-date data with the monitoring board by Thursday. But if there's potential for reputational damage in the US, in Europe it's already happened. In France, they're scrambling to get back on track with the vaccine rollout. Last week, the Prime Minister made sure he was seen getting an AstraZeneca jab, after his government, like others, briefly halted the use of the vaccine over blood clot fears. Now Paris is calling on AstraZeneca to meet its delivery promises.
We're fighting to get doses, in particular AstraZeneca, which is currently a little below its commitments to us. So we'll continue to mobilise, and the European Union is very engaged on this subject.
Later this week, EU leaders are set to discuss a possible ban on vaccines being exported from the EU to Britain. For now, Brussels is playing down that prospect, but keeping up the pressure on AstraZeneca.
It is a shame. It is a reputational damage of a huge extent, but it is also a question that many people are dying because the vaccines are not getting here.
In Germany, where infections are on the rise, Chancellor Angela Merkel has confirmed a 3-week extension to lockdown measures, with public life largely shut down over the Easter period. A reminder of why speeding up vaccination programmes and overcoming public scepticism is so important. Nadim, Aljazeera, London.